This video is about all the famous people and celebrities who passed away in 1972 in the United States. This is the 13th episode. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Harry Richmond. He was born in August 1895 and he died in November 1972. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was respiratory ailment. Harry Richmond was an American singer, actor, dancer, comedian, pianist, songwriter, bandleader, and nightclub performer, at his most popular in the 1920s and 1930s. In his peak years, he was one of the highest paid performers in show business. Richmond began playing piano in a Cincinnati saloon at age 10. At 18, he changed his name Harry Richmond, by which time he was already a professional entertainer in vaudeville. He claimed to be making $25,000 a week in 1931. He also owned a popular nightclub, a speakeasy, Club Richmond, which was located next to Carnegie Hall. The room was large, seating 240 people. It was designed to look like a Pato with fake windows that opened out to scenes painted in the windows. The roof was painted with stars to reflect the spotlight on the performers. It was a popular location till it burned down in 1929. Eventually known for his nasal baritone, he started out and worked as a piano accompanist to such stars as Mae West and Nora Bayes. With Bayes' act, he made his Broadway debut in 1922. He appeared in several editions of the George White's Scandals in the 1920s to acclaim. Reginald Owen. He was born in August 1887 and he died in November 1972. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Reginald Owen was a British actor known for many roles in British and American films and television programs. Owen was born to Joseph and Frances Owen in Waith Anstead, Hertfordshire, England. He studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and made his professional debut in 1905. Sometime prior to 1911, Owen met the author, Mrs. Clifford Mills. On hearing her idea of a rainbow story, persuaded her to turn it into a play, which became Where the Rainbow Ends. He co-authored the work with Mills using the pseudonym John Ramsay. That December, he starred as St. George in its first production, which opened to very good reviews. He went to the United States in 1920 and performed on Broadway. He later moved to Hollywood, where he began a lengthy film career, becoming a familiar face in many Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer productions. Owen is perhaps best known today for his performance as Ebenezer Scrooge in 1938 film version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, a role he inherited from Lionel Barrymore, who had played the part on the radio for years. Victor Milner. He was born in December 1893 and he died in October 1972. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American cinematographer. He was nominated for 10 Cinematography Academy Awards, winning once in 1934. For Cleopatra, Milner worked on more than 130 films, including dramas, comedies, film noir, and westerns. He worked for large production companies like Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Universal, and Paramount during his film career. Milner was hired by Eberhard Schneider, a film equipment manufacturer. He worked as a projectionist and ran supply runs for Schneider. During this time, Milner shot Hiawatha, the Indian Passion play, in 1913 as his first film. In 1914, he managed to photograph a mine strike in Trinidad, Colorado. Milner was later sent to Galveston, Texas to embark on a destroyer. However, his orders never arrived by mail. Instead, he was hired as a private photographer and could travel extensively, even spending 9 months in the Belgian Congo taking pictures of the wildlife and people. Milner was nominated for 9 Academy Awards during his career, winning one for cinematography in 1934. Ezra Pound, he was born in October 1885 and he died in November 1972. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was blockage of the intestine. Ezra Pound was an American poet and critic, a major figure in the early modernist poetry movement, and a collaborator in fascist Italy and the Salo Republic during the Second World War. His works include Ripostes, 1912, Hugh Sullivan Mobley in 1920, and his 800-page epic poem, The Cantos. Pound's contribution to poetry began in the early 20th century with his role in developing Imagism, a movement stressing precision and economy of language. Working in London as foreign editor of several American literary magazines, he helped discover and shape the work of contemporaries such as H.D. Robert Frost, T.S. Eliot, Ernest Hemingway, and James Joyce. He was responsible for 1914 serialization of Joyce's A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, the 1915 publication of Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, and the serialization from 1918 of Joyce's Ulysses. Hemingway wrote in 1932 that for poets born in the late 19th or early 20th century, not to be influenced by Pound would be like passing through a great blizzard and not feeling its cold. Barry Oakley, he was born in April 1948 and he died in November 1972. His age was 24 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was motorcycle accident. Barry Oakley was an American bassist and one of the founding members of Allman Brothers Band, known for his long, melodic bass runs. He was ranked number 46 on Bass Player magazine's list of the 100 greatest bass players of all time. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Allman Brothers Band in 1995. Oakley was born in Chicago and raised in the suburb of Park Forest, Illinois. He attended Rich East High School. He then moved to Florida, where he met and joined Dickie Betts' band, The Blues Messenger, later called Second Coming. He was founding member of Allman Brothers Band in 1969, along with guitarist Betts, Duane Allman, singer and keyboardist Greg Allman, and drummer and percussionists Budge Trucks and J. Johanny Johnson. In 1998, the Georgia State Legislature passed a resolution designating a bridge on the State Highway 19, United States Route 14 in Macon, Georgia as the Raymond Barry Oakley Third Bridge. Jackie Robinson, he was born in January 1919 and he died in October 1972. His age was 53 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Jackie Robinson was an American professional baseball player who became the first African American to play in Major League Baseball in the modern era. Robinson broke the color line when he started at first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers on April 15, 1947. The Dodgers signing Robinson heralded the end of racial segregation in professional baseball. Born in Cairo, Georgia, Robinson was raised in Pasadena, California, a four-sport student-athlete at Pasadena Junior College and the University of California, Los Angeles. He was better known for football than he was for baseball, becoming a star college player with the UCLA Bruins football team. Following his college career, Robinson was drafted for service during the Second World War, but was court-martialed for refusing to sit at the back of a segregated army bus, eventually being honorably discharged. Afterwards, he signed with the Kansas City Monarchs of the Black Leagues, where he caught the eye of Branch Rickey, general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, who thought he would be the perfect candidate for breaking the color line in MLB. Thomas C. Kincaid. He was born in April 1888 and he died in November 1972. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Thomas C. Kincaid was an admiral in the United States Navy, known for his service during the Second World War, built a reputation as a fighting admiral in the aircraft carrier battles of 1942 and commanded the Allied forces in the Aleutian Islands campaigns. He was Commander Allied Naval Forces and 7th Fleet under General of the Army Douglas MacArthur in the Southwest Pacific area, where he conducted numerous amphibious operations and commanded an Allied fleet during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest naval battle of the Second World War and the last naval battle between battleships in history. Born into a naval family, Kincaid was ranked in the lower half of his class on his graduation from the United States Naval Academy in June 1908. His early commissioned service was spent aboard battleships. In 1913, he began instruction in ordnance engineering and served in that field for many years. He saw action during the 1916 United States occupation of the Dominican Republic. During the First World War, he was attached to the Royal Navy before serving as gunnery officer aboard the ship USS Arizona. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.